Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome back to the Gaming Butler news channel. In addition to the news, we will occasionally bring you special instructional and educational videos like this one. Today we'll be going through all of Dark Dimension 4, and I'll walk you through various aspects such as characters and teams to use, how new characters are performing as of May 2022, node restrictions, gameplay mechanics of the enemy teams, threat assessments, and strategies for waves, nodes, and sections. A few notes off the start. You will notice that I have already done the first 3 nodes. I've done this for a few reasons. You can use any characters you like, so the lack of restrictions make it easy to choose a full powerful team with great synergy. Which leads me to number 2. I highly encourage you to use Infinity Watch. This will absolutely be a team that steamrolls this section. That said, I did have to restart the second node because I encountered some bad RNG and lost 2 of my Infinity Watch. So word of the wise, even with an 800,000 power team with great synergy, they can still fall victim to the random number generator boss. And the third reason I ran through the first section is that due to the lack of restrictions, full access to the roster means those nodes are just easier. Most people want to see the restricted nodes for the deep dive into how to approach and beat that content. It should be noted here, I've been playing for almost 800 days, have a 12 million total collection power, or TCP, and I have most of the top meta characters available to me. If this isn't you, then I hope you focus on the tactics part of my walkthrough more than the character choice. A few more notes about Dark Dimension. In addition to the node restrictions, you will have waves inside of each node. Some waves come when each enemy is killed in the previous wave. Some waves have a half wave that comes after a few enemies are defeated. Knowing and planning for this is key. Saving up cooldowns for the next wave and especially the next node is really important. Also important to know is that dark health packs are needed to revive a character that died during a node or power cores, but I really wouldn't encourage you to do this. It's just not a good expenditure. As such, you may see me restart a node. If I lose a particularly valuable character at the wrong time, I'll keep these restarts in the video so you can see my thought process behind it. And lastly, outside of raids, Dark Dimension is the single most important game mode. As you can see here, the rewards you get are substantial. 20 random full crafted items and 9,800 other random items. So this will quite literally catapult you and your roster into higher content if applied wisely. I highly recommend checking out Philosopher's videos and guides about which characters to build up. You can also find very handy infographics on the various content creators' Discord channels. You can find that linked below. With that said, let's get started. Up first is the global nodes. I could probably use auto combat on the first and second nodes, but I would rather not risk losing the node or not having my cooldowns in the right place. So, as we're looking at this, you can see up at the top here, to participate in Dark Dimension 4, you're going to have a restriction of any character that is gear tier 15. So as I was mentioning before, you're really going to want to focus on characters that you're going to use in other aspects of Marvel Strike Force, something that you can use in Arena or the raids especially. There's also a bunch of other new game modes that have been coming out lately, like Pocket Dimension, Avengers Tower just came out recently, and today I'm recording this on May 3rd, 2022, and as of today we just had a brand new game mode called Cosmic Crucible come out. So again, whenever possible, you're going to want to build up characters that you can use in multiple places, and some characters are just a heck of a lot more powerful. So you'll see that automatically the game is forcing me to choose only gear tier 15 characters and non-legendary global. So you'll see I don't have many, and again, with a 12 million total TCP, you would think I would have more to choose from, but I've chosen to really hyper focus to make sure I'm not expending my resources unnecessarily. So the number one piece of advice here for going gear tier 15 non-legendary global is going to be the Secret Avengers. The common wisdom is to usually put your tank, which in this case is Captain America Sam Wilson, on an end slot. You will find in a lot of different game modes having the tank on an end slot is advisable, largely because when the tank taunts, if the tank were to get hit, such as this positioning, then the splash damage is likely only going to affect the one adjacent character, in this case Maria Hill. So having the tank in the middle, such as I'm setting up right here, means that if the tank gets hit, it's going to hit these other two. Now, these other two characters are going to get a lot of buffs from Captain Sam, or they're going to buff each other, so I'm relatively confident that this is a good way to go. However, the next two I'm going to choose also have synergy, and what you'll find in this game is that oftentimes there are callouts for characters that have a synergy with adjacent characters. So as a general rule of thumb, I try to put characters that are supposed to be on the same team next to each other. In this particular case, I'm going to be using these 5 characters. Again, Secret Avengers, Captain America Sam Wilson, or Cap Sam as we often call him, Maria Hill, and Sharon Carter. The other 2 characters I'm going to use, I was, prior to about 3 weeks ago, when these 2 characters came out in the Darkhold team is their name. I was using Ghost and Lady Deathstrike. Both of them are good. Lady Deathstrike kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of people are really finding a ton of value in her from her evades, bleeds. She does good damage, manages to stay alive. So she is fantastic in a lot of game modes. I think she's a really underrated character. Ghost is a very old character, but in Dark Dimension has some benefits, and also has a ton of dodge and self-healing, which when you're talking about Dark Dimension, when other content creators or anyone is talking about the value of a character in Dark Dimension, the number one most important thing in Dark Dimension is going to be sustain. And sustain comes from blocks, dodges, and self-healing and or healing of other characters as well. So you're going to see this as we get into it. But these are the 5 that I'm going to run with. These 2 characters, Agatha Harkness and Wong, are very powerful new characters that came out. So even without the full team, they're going to still do really well. And the benefit that I have is I actually have 2 tanks. Both Cap Sam and Wong are considered protectors, so they are going to have taunt abilities, and you'll see how I use that back and forth to synergize. So I've done a lot of talking. This is going to be a long video, so if you haven't already got yourself a drink and a snack, please grab that, kick back, and join me on this journey. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be one very long video or if I'm going to chop this up. I guess we're going to see how this goes. So the first thing about jumping into Dark Dimension is that you're going to get these notifications that pop up at the start of every wave. So you'll notice that we're going to have 15 enemies in this node entirely, and you'll see that number is going to increase as time goes on with the different nodes. Each section has 3 nodes, and it increases in enemy count and difficulty with each node. Each wave will come with these special notifications. So from here you can see Pyro from this wave will always perform his special ability. Now, one of the most common questions here is, what if I ability block Pyro? In that case, yes, the game will then choose his special. The enemy characters still have all of their abilities, and so if they're set to only use one of them, if you ability block, which you absolutely should, because the name of the game in Dark Dimension is controlling the board, then they are going to go with their default basic. So Pyro from this way will always use his special ability. Not a big deal. He's not really a huge threat in my opinion. So tapping the screen, we're going to get our next notification. Captain Marvel from this wave will always perform her special ability. Certainly a heck of a lot better than her ult, so I'm not super concerned about it, but again, focusing on a greater damaging ability than the full array can be problematic. Something to bear in mind when we're talking about the tactics of how to do all of this. Next up, Korath the Pursuer from this wave will always perform his special ability. Don't really care. Korath's really not a concern for me. Nothing that he does has given me any pause for concern. All right, so with that, we have, as you just saw, a whole bunch of stuff is happening. My team went into their on-spawn stuff, so anything in their kit and their passive that said on-spawn do this thing has happened. Now you notice that the enemy team went first. And one of the things that makes Magneto such a formidable foe, and I'm going to change this to X2 so we get a little bit slower animation. Magneto, right off the bat, his ability is going to blind. So you're going to see that I have Wong is blind and Agatha Harkness is blind. These are super important debuffs to realize or to recognize what's on there. Just because this can be real problematic if you were to hit the wrong button, a powerful or necessary ability that would do a lot of damage to the team, it's gonna miss. So whenever you have blind, there's about a 90 to 95% chance you're gonna want to use a basic or some sort of self buff ability, because an attack is going to be almost completely worthless. So right now, to get things going, my ideology here is Wong is going to have a very long 10 energy cooldown taunt, and I'm going to want to use that right off the bat. So I don't want to use Cap Sam's taunt. You'll see here his special ability, gain taunt for 2 turns, in addition to doing a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to wait on that because I'm going to use Wong's up first, which even though he won't connect with it, the damage won't go through, but his taunt will. So I'm going to use Cap Sam's ultimate ability, Freedom Flight, to attack all the enemies, which is great. But the really important thing here is that it will fill the speed bar for self and all skill allies, which is going to be the other 2 Secret Avengers, and the speed bar for all other allies as well. So really, really powerful stuff, because in this game, speed bar manipulation is one of the most important things. Any character that does speed bar manipulation of any kind is one of the most sought after abilities. So let's get going. So we're going to give some speed up there, do a little bit of damage to the rest of the team. Sharon Carter's abilities are really big on controlling the board. You'll notice that this one's going to clear all positive effects, attack the primary target for a bunch of damage, apply stun and slow. So there are no buffs that I'm worried about clearing, but I do really want to stun or slow something. On the board right now, you'll notice that the 3 characters that are going to go, actually the 2 characters going to go first are going to be Pyro and Juggernaut. So I want to keep Juggernaut from taunting so that I can do what I need to on the board. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stun and slow Juggernaut. All right, and then my first target is going to be getting Magneto down, so I'm going to drop some ads here, which are going to attack the primary target is really the big thing. There's also going to be some offense down and offense up going around. All right, damage done. I don't have anyone else that I really need to manage at this point, which I would consider with Agatha Harkness, this ability applying slow and stun. I want to use those really smartly, so I don't really need that right now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a whole ton of damage to the enemy team. Except that she was blind. Remember how I just said that? So that was a misplay on my part, but I'm glad I got to do that for you so you could see exactly why you have to be mindful of having that blind on there. So please learn from my mistakes. All right, so again, this doesn't need to land for Wong to get his taunts. He's going to gain taunt for 2 turns, bury yourself for 30%. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. He's not going to land this, but that's okay. Oh, and he cleared it. We're going to get Magneto out of the game pretty darn quickly, which is good. So we're not going to deal with any more of those blinds. A big part of this is Dark Dimension is really big on strategic plays. So you'll notice that what I tried to do is I tried to prevent Juggernaut from taunting. Wasn't successful. That's okay. Not the end of the world. So now you'll also notice that Wong no longer has his taunt on. So since he doesn't have that, I'm going to go ahead and taunt with my other protector. Now Sharon's other ability also is going to do damage, ability block, and defense down for 2 turns. I don't really need to ability block him at this point, so it would be sort of a waste to do this. The defense down would be nice, but I would rather save that for when I need it somewhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a basic. Now here's the thing. Most people sort of assume that because this is an area-wide attack all enemies, that you're going to use that you would only use this in certain circumstances. But there's a number of things that are going to happen with this ability. Again, she's clearing all effects from self and Avenger and skill allies. Apply 3 deflect is the big thing here, because again, we're going for sustain. I need these characters to last through 3 nodes of dark dimension. So the less damage they take, the better we are going to be from wave to wave and node to node. So I really want to get this going as often as possible. I'm going to do that right now. We got some clears, we've got some damage, and we just took a couple of enemies off the board, which is great. Don't really need her stun yet again, and actually don't want to stun a protector with taunt up, because I need Juggernaut to take a turn to start getting those taunts off of him, and they're only going to come off him if I strip them off or if he takes a turn. So it's generally not advisable to stun an enemy. All right, still got a taunt for 1 more turn. Cap Sam's basic, one of the things I love about it is that it's going to clear 1 positive effect, which is super handy. And he's also going to gain 1 deflect. And having him have a bunch of deflects, which he already does, you can see right here. Let me see if I can get that list up there. So he's got taunt, offense, defense, up, immunity, and he's got a stack of 4 deflects, which is great because it'll block the next attack. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 1 of his... Oh, got rid of them all. Even better. And there's no reason not to use this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Pyro since he's low health. My threat assessment right now, my 2 that I'm most concerned about are Juggernaut for the taunts, which she's already used, and then Captain Marvel, who can do quite a bit of damage. But again, she's not using her ultimate, which is the big damager. I'm going to go ahead and drop some more minions and start putting some damage down here. I am going to go ahead and stun Captain Marvel, do a little, not stun, but ability block Captain Marvel, and she's gone. All right, let's get some damage here. Clear the board a bit. Now you notice with this particular wave, we are going to finish this up and then get the next wave to drop, instead of having a mid-wave wave. That's the technical term. All right, so here again, Scientist Supreme from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. Not really a fan of Scientist Supreme on the enemy team because there's a lot of health that can be done by her. My threat assessment right now is that the 3 most important ones on the board are going to be Scientist Supreme, Colossus, and this guy over here. I think he's the Mercenary Lieutenant, if I remember the name correctly. Psylocke from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. That can be problematic, just from a sheer damage point. If someone gets kind of low, it could be threatening, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. All right, so let's get going here. The first thing I want to do is I want to get this guy stunned, because his ability to provide some speed up bonuses can be rather annoying. So we're just going to take him out of the fight for right now. We're going to put some pressure on Scientist Supreme. Let's get a stun on Colossus. Thank you very much. And we're going to go, again, since Wong has that long taunt, and this one's only a 3 energy, we're going to probably get two more of those before Wong gets his going. Get some buffs for everyone and get the damage flowing to the Protector. Get some more damage on Scientist Supreme. All right, These guys I still don't need to worry about. I don't really feel like I need to. Well, you know what I'm seeing right now, and this is important to know, you'll see the blue bar is the speed, right? The green is the health, blue is speed. She's about to take a turn. And so given what the ultimate ability does, I really don't want that ultimate ability creating problems for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get her stunned. Or ability blocked, pardon me. All right, there's a couple of thoughts here. Getting more of these guys on the ground would be great, but again, I want to have some real survivability. So I'm going to go ahead and do some damage, get some buffs and some healing going. That's one of the best abilities in the game, if you ask me, especially from a team synergy standpoint. Again, we're going to continue to put pressure here, and this should be the kill. There's the kill. Now we're going to go ahead and get back to the mercenary lieutenant. Colossus is back live. I get what do I want here? Yeah, let's go ahead and get some speed bar going. Now you'll notice that we're down to 8 enemies to kill, which means we're going to get a half wave here because we have 5 on the board. I still want to get this guy down. This should be the kill here. Great. Now my focus is Colossus, because if I can't kill him before his next turn, he is probably going to taunt. And so even if he does, the more health damage that he takes right now. Okay, we have the rest of the players on the board. Now the one thing that I'm starting to be mindful of is my abilities. I want to make sure that I have all of my abilities ready for the next node. So anything with a super long cooldown, I am not going to use at this time. Let's get this one off the board. Let's get this one off the board. And goodbye, Shield Trooper. Thank you for your service. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and go after Psylocke. The threat assessment right now is Psylocke and X-23. Since Psylocke has the yellow, meaning that she's special, what the yellow glow means is that these characters are enhanced in a number of ways. Usually they're the ones with the special notations on the bottom of the screen. They also usually just have higher stats in addition to those special ability selections. Put some pressure on her. Again, you'll see that I'm just using basic. I only have 4 characters left, and even though Dark Dimension characters tend to have a lot of health, I just want to be really smart about how I'm going about this. Yep, I don't really need that. Okay, great. Now next up, threat assessment is X-23. This shield assault and this other shield assault are really just not a concern for me. So I think that what's going to happen here is I'm going to have enough turns to have this live before we're done here. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. 3 turn cooldown, especially here at the end when we're taking more turns. And I don't really care that I lose the minions. They're extremely expendable. In fact, that's what they're there for. That's why they get the taunt. And yeah, let's go ahead and drop a few more of these. So you'll notice that they gain death-proof offense up, and at some point they gain taunt as well. Still don't really want to use these abilities. I'm not really concerned about anything happening, and like the most dangerous character on the board right now is X-23, and she still has a long way to go before her ability is up. Again, long cooldown here. I certainly don't want to use that. This one is a maybe, but probably not. So I'm just going to go ahead and basic. I'm just going to add some slow, get some more damage going. And goodbye X-23. And we'll clean up here at the shield assault. In fact, just to make things go quicker, I'm going to do auto basic. If you are new to the game and you are unaware about this ability, you can turn that on in the options screen, you can select that ability. I highly recommend it. It's one of the greatest utensils that they added to the gameplay mechanics from a player perspective. So in this way, you just kind of sit back and let them do their thing. So now again, we're going to start the next node, because what carries over from the next node is the health, the speed bar, and the energy. So all of your buffs are going to be gone. All of your summons are going to be gone. A lot of stuff is going to be gone, but some stuff does carry over. All right, so that was the first global node. We have 2 more nodes to go, and you'll see that here on the second, we had 15 in the first wave. We've got quite a few more in this next wave to contend with. Let's get into it. I'm going to use the exact same characters, the exact same position. You can see here that Cap Sam's missing approximately a quarter of his health. That's one of the big challenges with this. We have an 826k power team, which is super powerful. We have blue ISO on all of these characters, and I think almost all of them are at level 3 blue ISO. You can certainly do this with a lot less. I'm showing you almost the easy way to do this, but you'll notice that I'm actually still taking my time, and that was the whole impetus for me creating this video, that even with very powerful characters at max level, all of these characters are at max level 85, all of the critical abilities are at T4. No, I didn't take all the T4s. Let's get into this here. Squirrel Girl from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. So Squirrel Girl is a pain in the butt. From this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. Baku this wave will perform his ultimate ability as well. Okay, so Oke and M'Baku are going to be performing their ultimates along with Squirrel Girl. Again, that's why you're seeing the yellow in here. There's the ultimate ability. Alright, so again, Wong is going to have his taunt up, so I'm going to go ahead and use Cap Sam's ultimate, get some speed bar going, even though my team is largely already full anyway. It just gives them that edge. We are going to, again, noting the speed bar, so she's about ready to take a turn. I want to get her stunned, which is going to fall off almost immediately. Get some deflects and immunities rolling. What do I want to do here? I want to get a stun going on M'Baku so he doesn't taunt, although his taunt I believe is his special, not his ultimate, so there may not be a ton of value there. But the threat assessment here, Black Panther, we just got some reworks, and I honestly don't know. It's something that I need to look into. I don't know if enemies in Dark Dimension get buffed anytime that there is a change to them, but these 3 characters, M'Baku, Oke, and Black Panther, just got buffed quite literally today, here on May 3rd. So there's a distinct possibility these characters are going to be more of a pain than they have been in the past. From a damage standpoint, what I'm most worried about, again, Black Panther, I'm not really worried about. America Chavez, either one of these, not super concerned about. Okay, I'm not worried about her either. The 3 most important are going to be these 3. And the reason is because Miss Marvel is going to generate ability energy. She's also going to taunt, which is annoying, especially if I'm trying to get someone else down. And Baku also has a taunt. But again, you've seen I've already taken these 2 out of the picture, and I'm going to focus damage on Squirrel Girl. Wong does not have a taunt, so I'm going to go ahead and get another taunt off. I did not remember his energy appropriately. That's all right. Let's get some minions down. And we're going to get another ability block up on Miss Marvel and back over to Squirrel Girl. And you can see that she had her taunt up there. Let's go ahead and get some damage. fantastic ability. Getting all these offense down is going to be great in the long term for us. Miss Marvel still has her deflect, her taunt up and some deflects, but we can't do anything. None of my characters have the ability to go around taunt, so we're just going to go through it. All right, other side's taking their turns, and geez, without even trying, Black Panther's gone. This is the benefit of having retaliation. All right, they've done their thing. We're good to go. Let's see if that strips, if Cap Sam's basic strips her taunt, and it did. So I'm going to go back to Squirrel Girl. Make some more headway here. And those abilities at 10 energy. It just takes so long to go. Or to come back, I guess I should say. I want to get a stun on Maku. There we go. And Miss Marvel has taunt yet again, and she's getting taunt because her kit says anytime a character goes under half health, she automatically taunts. Another reason to try and do as much damage to others, because you're going to wind up going back to her anyway. Some schools of thought are you might as well just start with her and avoid all of that. 6 one way, half dozen the other. Again, Cap Sam's basic ability, hopefully we're going to strip that. We did, and we also dropped her health down. Let's get back on Squirrel Girl, and this should be the kill. Prognosticating is off. Alright, and goodbye. Alright, so now I'm going to get back on Miss Marvel. Again, threat assessment. She's the one with the biggest threat to me right now, and now there really just isn't anything. I'm going to go ahead and taunt. Always want to taunt whenever possible in this particular scenario with these characters. Don't really need to use these abilities right now. I think I'm going to save them up. They do some decent damage, but I would really, in this long game, you can see we had 34 that we have to get through. Really what we want to do is make sure that we're prepared at all times to address whatever comes down at us. So I would rather play it conservatively and safe. And I'm going to wait for the next wave here to do this ability, because again, it's a 10 energy cooldown. So this, he'll die, they'll drop to probably a quarter and drop to a half. So it just seems like it'd be better in my mind to wait until there are more enemies on the board to really maximize the payoff for using an area of effect ability that hits the entire other side of the board. So I'm just going to go ahead and basic right there, and there's the kill. Same kind of deal here. Let's just go ahead and basic. I'm going to go ahead and drop the minions. So they will take damage. The AI may go for them. If I didn't mention this earlier, I believe that I did, but if I forgot to, I put Cap Sam in the middle as opposed to the end because the AI tends to favor the middle spot. Not by a lot, but it definitely will go there more often than it won't. It is the default position. You'll notice this the longer you play the game. That the game, when it has nowhere else to go. Alright. So this next wave here, Proxima Midnight from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. Not really a big deal. Loki from this wave will always perform a special ability, also not a huge deal. And let's get going. The thing we do have to worry about is Thanos being your protector is going to have taunt. These 4 guys are a pain because they're just going to do a ton of area of effect damage on my entire team with their abilities. So again, the thing with Dark Dimension is almost everything is a threat of some kind. It's really just trying to figure out what is the biggest threat. So right off the bat, I want to get a stun going on Thanos. And then I'm going to focus down Loki. Actually, you'll notice that his speed bar, he's almost ready to take a turn, so I'm actually going to go for a stun first. Now I did remember from the last wave that Wong is ready to taunt, so I'm going to go ahead and do an AoE attack and fill some speed bar. Go ahead and focus Loki again. We're already doing some great damage on him. Don't really feel the need to use this. We're going to save that for now. You can see that even the basics are hitting pretty hard. And again, you know, copying 3 positive effects from the primary target, flip 3 positive effects to the primary target. Just great stuff if that's needed. But the big thing here is gaining taunt for 2 turns and to bury yourself for 30% of the character's max health. So really this ability to me, more than anything in Dark Dimension, is a taunt first and foremost. The other stuff that it does is just icing on the cake in my mind. I remember I am at all times trying to control the board and manage my team. So you'll see that he just got taunt for 2 turns, and he also additionally has 3 deflect, which is fantastic for someone who's going to be taking most of the incoming hits, at least the single target ones. Next up, I'm going to focus Proxima Midnight. Again, because of the yellow glow, she's going to have more stats, which means more damage. And there you can see why her special ability put a stun and a slow, which is fine. Now again, this is something I mentioned earlier. Wong already has taunt up for 2 turns, so I absolutely do not need to use this. In fact, it's sort of a waste to use it. So I am going to move forward with just doing his basic. I've always found it funny that Heimdall, when he uses that move, goes up and somehow comes down sideways with the attack. Alright, definitely want to use this. Most bang for the buck. We've got the enemy side almost full up. Lots of offense down, which is fantastic for mitigating the incoming damage. A lot of this game is really about, you know, managing and mitigating incoming damage. I'm going to save this for when his stun comes off, which will be this next turn, so I can keep him locked down. For now, I'm going to go ahead and continue to focus on Proxima Midnight, get some damage rolling. Let's get some more minions down. This is also going to take the 2 minions on the board and leverage all of them are going to attack, so it's always great when you can have a board full of minions using that ability. Alright, so we just had a mid-wave drop. We took out 2 characters and 3 more drops. So this is where we get deep into the weeds on strategy. I have 4 problems on this board right now. Well, I mean, I have a whole board of problems, but I have 4 problems. Thanos has a taunt. Groot is going to have heals and death proofs, which are a problem. He also taunts at some point. Call Obsidian taunts in addition to retaliating anytime that I go after Thanos as part of his kit. Or it actually might just be Black Order, which Thanos is not part of. And then Sif, which is going to have a taunt. Now, Sif I know is going to have a taunt right off the bat, so I need to get her on lockdown as quickly as possible. My biggest threat assessment is I want to control Thanos, I want to control Cull Obsidian, I want to control Sif, and I want to kill Groot as quickly as possible. So since we're going damage right now with these guys. Let's get some damage rolling on Groot. Wong still has a taunt up. Still no need to utilize taunt. See, and there's that AoE damage that Heimdall has. All right, so we've got a stun. We're gonna get that stun off on Sif, and back to Groot for the damage. Alright, so my threat assessment right now is that Groot is at about half speed bar. Call Obsidian is sitting at more like 3/4. Again, this ability is going to apply ability block for 2 turns and defense down for 2 turns. The ability block is really the most important thing to me. The rest of it is great. Certainly, again, icing on the cake, but you know, there's only so many abilities that will apply ability block, and those are the ones I really want to focus on. So I'm going to use this on Cull. Get him a defense down and ability block. Boy, we're in great shape there. Always target, even with AoE abilities, always target the character that you want to do damage to. A lot of abilities will say, you know, do X amount of damage to the primary target and Y amount of damage to adjacent and or every other target. So always pick the target that you're trying to do damage to, even if you're going to use an area of effect ability. Get some damage, we'll get some deflects, some immunities going, and some healing. I really do want to use that ability as often as possible. Alright, Wong still has a taunt, so I really am, again, not going to use that. Right now this should be the kill on Groot. Fantastic. That puts us in a good place, except for, of course, that he revives. And gave everyone some boosts. Alright, Thanos has done his ultimate, Groot has done his ultimate. Important to note these things on where they are. The AI is always going to go ultimate, special, ultimate ability if it's available. If not available due to energy, then it will do the special if it's available and it has the energy. And if it doesn't have that, then it will do the basic. The AI will always go this direction, and it will always go that direction if you put it on auto as well. Like the AI will use your characters in the same manner it uses the other ones, except for if they have that yellow glow, as we've seen with the words that show up down here in the bottom left hand corner, noting that it's going to use a certain ability all of the time. So here again, we want to get some damage on Groot. We need to get him off the board. As soon as Sif takes a turn, she is going to taunt, and Thanos is going to taunt as well. So we get some damage on Groot. Hopefully it doesn't. Oh, fantastic. We're in good shape. Next up, I really want to get one of these tanks down. They all have defense up, so there isn't really a great option, except that Thanos is already like halfway down, so we're going to go ahead and get some damage on him. If someone had defense down, I might make the most of that. Now again, Wong does not have taunt, so I'm going to go ahead and start using Cap Sam's taunt. The risk I run by not using that is not having the abilities, and not getting the bonuses from his taunt, but again, I just don't want to waste taunts. Alright, again, we're going to get some damage going on Thanos. Thankfully, he has a ton of slows, but he's about ready to take a turn anyway, so... And there's Sif's taunt. Now, this ability will clear all positive effects on the primary target, attack for 300% damage, apply stun and slow. Yes, please. That's going to clear, hopefully, it looks like she has 4 up, so hopefully taunt is one of the 3 that is claimed in this. Perfect. Now Sif has used that ability and won't be available for, if I remember right, 3 turns, I want to say. Still want to focus. Oh, and it looks like Call Obsidian now has taunt for 2 turns, so we really don't have a lot of option here. You can see what I was mentioning earlier about managing this, and frankly, sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do. You can manage it the best you can. That's what I'm doing. If we can't get off a stun in the right time, or they start taunting back and forth, it can just become problematic. I'm gonna go ahead and get some speed bar here and some damage. You can see it does pretty decent damage with that ability. Retaliates. No longer has taunt, so we're going to go back on to Thanos. Get him down. Alright, Thanos is down. We're going to get an ability block here. I don't know that it's particularly important at this point because both of these characters, both Call Obsidian and Sif, have already used their taunts, so I don't know that that's particularly important. It's hard to see what these speed bars are. I can tell you from my viewpoint that both of the Thors are not going to take a turn real soon. This Heimdall is about to take one, so I actually want to go ahead and ability block and try and mitigate some of that incoming damage. Rather take a special rather than area wide. Let's get some healing, some deflects, and some immunities going. Still a ton of characters on the board, so I'm going to go ahead and use this AoE now. Gets rid of one of the Thors. That puts us in a good position. The other Thor is almost dead. I'm going to use the basic on call to get rid of that defense up. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Thor here. Up and sideways. Never understand that. Hopefully that's the kill. There we are. Since we have the advent of having defense down, and again the protectors, the tanks of this game, if you can manage them well enough, they're not a huge threat. Don't really need to stun here. This Heimdall's not going to take a turn. That one's already got a block on. She's going to come off stun and not really do anything, and I don't really need that on him, so I'm going to save that. This is a big part of the strategy, is knowing when to use abilities and when not. Taunt, absolutely. Let's get the bonuses rolling. Make sure they're focusing on Cap Sam. Let's get some damage on Call Obsidian. This next one should be the kill. There's the kill. Ah, thank you, ISO bonus attack. Let's get some minions on the ground. And this will be 5 minions attacking, not just the 3 that drop, which is pretty neat. So it's actually a meaningful amount of damage. Plus the retaliation is great. A lot of retaliation going on. Again, don't need to stun. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Sif. Just low. Now this is the end of the wave. I probably, hopefully I'm only going to have a few more turns here. So this is, and frankly, something I didn't state earlier is that I'm now starting to like really save these up. Again, this is a 5, 6, 7 ability turn. Attack the primary target for 175%, piercing plus bonus attack 2 times. There's no reason to save this. We still have 19 enemies to go. Plus the ISO bonus healing going on is fantastic for keeping him alive. I absolutely have no reason to utilize the controlling abilities there. There's the striker bonus attack. This is one of those times when this is probably wasted. There's no negative effects. The deflects would be nice, except for that Cap Sam is already at 4, so he's only going to get 1 and 2 will be wasted. Having the other 2 have their deflects will be good, but we're going to use that at the first opportunity at the next wave. And doing that amount of damage, there's no healing that's really needed. I mean, there's a sliver missing there. From a tactics standpoint, I really just don't feel like that's a great usage of that. Could it be done? Sure. Would it be world ending if you used it at that point? No, absolutely not. No need for either a stun or all the bonuses that does. Certainly a huge waste to use that. Hopefully you're starting to see the pattern. Great. Next wave is down. So let's take a look at the board here. We've got 2 of the Black Panthers. Again, I don't know how to properly evaluate their threats, their threat level to me because of the rework today, but I can tell you that with my current knowledge of the game, they're just not a huge threat. Thor, again, glowing yellow, enhanced stats. I think he said he's gonna use his ultimate ability. Heimdall, same kind of thing. So from a damage standpoint, they're a threat. The 2, and M'Baku is a pain because of his taunt, which is going to prevent me from doing stuff to others. The 2 biggest threats on the board are going to be Black Widow and Gamora. Black Widow has the ability to give a bunch of speed up bonuses, offense up, etc. So I really want to get her down first. It's really a toss-up between her and Gamora. Gamora can be problematic. She could absolutely truck one of my characters. If they have defense down, she has offense up, and she uses her ultimate ability, that could take away easily a quarter to half a health and put me in a position where I'm concerned. So between these are my top 2 that I'm going to go for. But the number 1 most important one is going to be Black Widow. Alright, so here's our opportunity to start controlling the board. Now you'll notice that speed bar, when I look at controlling, I'm looking at the whole board. Where's the health, where's the abilities, where's the buffs, and also where's the speed bar. If I don't have her under control, she is going to go very quickly, and then things are going to get out of control. So I'm absolutely going to apply a stun here to make sure she can't take a turn. Wong, if I remember correctly, is ready for his taunt, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to fill some speed bar and do some damage. Great damage there. I'm absolutely going to use this. Get the deflects and the immunities up. Also gives the minions, the shield troopers, gives them death proof, which is great. Keeps them around a little bit longer. Let's see if we can get the kill on Black Widow. Thank you. I am going to take this opportunity to stun Gamora. And then I think I am going to ability block Thor Odinson. I'm going to focus Gamora on the damage. I'm not going to use the taunt. Wong is going to have his taunt up. Let's drop some more. By the way, if any of you are wondering, if you have a full 10 characters on your side, more minions will not drop. There's only 10 positions available. If you have 9 and it's supposed to drop 3, it will, and I'm going to target Thor here because I can get the most bang for my buck from a damage perspective. Now you notice that we dropped a couple of characters, and same thing as last time. We got rid of the first 2 and 3 more dropped. None of these 3 are of concern to me. I'm just not worried about them at all. We're going to take advantage of the defense down because our damage is doing more damage with the defense down. Up and at the 45. Again, don't understand why. any of you ever wonder from a trajectory standpoint how Heimdall was sending people with his beam to any position on the planet, no matter which direction it was spinning in space at that point in time? These are the things I think about late at night with some of the oddities of the Marvel Universe. We have a ton of characters on the board. This is a great idea. We're going to get the offense down. We're going to get the heal block, which is fantastic. Thor is really out of commission, but I really want to get him down. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Absolutely. Let's get some health, some deflex, and some immunities going. More important to me than the minions. The minions are great. The minions are great because the AI absolutely will target them. In addition to that damage they do, as you saw earlier when we have some down. I really need to get Heimdall down, but Black Panther's so low on health that this one attack will remove one of the threats from the board entirely, which is going to mitigate the incoming damage. The value of that attack, even though this is a greater threat, Heimdall is a greater threat, removing a damage source off the board is of greater value to me. So now we're down. The one thing I have a little bit of concern is that Black Panther is, as you can see, he's getting charged up because he's taking damage, and that damage will turn into a greater AoE attack. You can see that because of the purple, and he also has offense up, which means when he does do that AoE, it's going to be problematic. Since I have to use this, I actually want to strip that offense up from Black Panther, which I did. Stun, yeah, I'd actually like to get a stun on M'Baku. The last thing I need right now is his taunt showing up and creating problems for me. Yeah, again, I have an opportunity here to really remove a damage source and a taunt source from the board with all the damage the minions do when they come down. You'll see that Okoye attacked one of the minions, which is fantastic. Let's get him off the board, and let's go back now to Heimdall, who is really the only major threat on the board. Yeah, let's get rid of that offense up. Back to Heimdall for the damage. Up and a 45. Tell you it's strange. The math doesn't work, it doesn't pencil. Doing some basics. We still have 12 characters to go. We have a whole nother wave after this one. We still have, I think it was, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4 more turns before he's going to get a taunt. So I'm absolutely going to taunt here to get all of that, all of the bonuses that that ability gives. You know, a lot of people think that the ultimate is, oh, and I was wrong. See, Wong was ready to go there. So I will probably, we'll see how this goes. I may actually just save that for the next node, even though we still have 12 characters to get down. Depending on how this shapes up, I might save it. But again, 10 turns he has to take. In 10 turns, we can do a fair amount of damage, as you've seen. So it would just be completely wasted right now to use that in tandem with Cap Sam. So is that a misplay? Yeah, technically I would call that a misplay. I should have probably waited. Is it, you know, really a misplay? Again, technically it is, but really no, because nothing of value was lost, and I did gain something from using Cap Sam. I did get those bonuses that you saw pop up. I've got a lot of characters on the board, and I think that there is value in using this. There probably is more value in waiting, but as you can see, like, we got one off the board, but we still have a ton more to go. So not really a whole lot of value in using. Again, the premium value of these is the stun and the slow. The other stuff that it does, icing on the cake, same thing here. So I'm just going to basic. Let's get some speed bar whenever possible. These are of equal threat level to me, and I'm just choosing OK because she has the lowest health, so we're going to get her off the board now. And that gives us Proxima, which is going to we'll get her down. We'll get our last 7 for node 2. So you can see I'm going a bit slow. You know, this video already is running into an hour. Probably have still a few more minutes. I think I'm already making up the decision that I'm going to just do this DD5 guide in sections at a time. Black Widow from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability, and I did not get the first one there. I assume it was something to do with Groot since he is yellow. Hopefully you guys saw that on the screen, or you can always pause and go back. So, threat assessment on this. A lot of these are the same characters you've already seen tonight, so you could probably already guess where I'm going to go. The three threats on here are going to be first Black Widow, because it's Black Widow, and second because she has the yellow hue, so she is buffed. The second is going to be Groot for the healing, the death proofs, the enhanced stats because of the yellow, and then thirdly Gamora. They're all three a top priority, and since you really can't have more than one top priority, again, sort of the odd nature of this game is they're all three top priority, but it depends on the ability that comes up, because that shifts, hopefully, as you've seen as we've been going through this. Let's get some buffs up there, get some damage going. This wave will last long enough for this to regen, so I absolutely want to use these right now. We're going to go ahead and take her out of commission. Damage, because again, she is the top most threat as far as getting her off the board as quickly as possible. Who's going to be next up here? It looks like Gamora is going to take a turn, but I actually am more concerned about Groot. So we're going to get him stunned. Back to Black Widow. It's fine. Thank you. Love those retaliates. Thank you, minions. Back to doing damage on Black Widow. She's down to the last 6th of her health. I'm absolutely going to do this, and I think I'm just going to save this. We're in a good position. We're at the end now. We've already got one character down, so we're down to 6, so this should go pretty quick. Let's get Gamora ability block and defense down. Back to Groot for the damage. I need to get him off the board as quickly as possible. While he's stunned, I do not want him to take a turn. At this point, I kind of want more minions on the board, but the smarter play is actually this, and the reason I'm saying this is because we'll have enough time for that to regenerate for the next set, and again, we're getting a lot of damage and a lot of bonuses that'll help see us through. I actually want to get rid of that offense up. It also did some pretty meaningful damage too. Actually did a lot more damage than I thought it was going to, which is making me question whether those characters have been updated with the recent patch. Alright. Groot is not going to take a turn yet, so this is one of those things like, so he's going to come off stun, and then he's going to be effective with slow. He's not going to do anything, but his speed bar is going to reset. So how he comes off stun is he takes a turn. Even though he doesn't do anything, his turn will be coming out of stun. So the smarter play here is to actually take out Gamora. See, and that's done. you'll see how my shifting priorities happen. Because even though Groot was the most important, at that moment in time, because he was stunned, I could offer myself a little bit of leeway. Yep, let's drop a few more of these guys. That we're definitely gonna have time to get that back up again. And I like having a board full of minions. A lot of benefit to that. Alright, let's get rid of Groot. That should be the kill. Does he respawn? Nope. Fantastic. Alright, so we've got some defense up. Not the biggest deal in the world. My two threats right now are going to be Thor and Black Panther. I'm going to go with Thor because he's a little bit lower and has defense down, so I can get more bang for my buck. And that should be the kill. We're going to shift over to Black Panther. I'm definitely going to save that taunt. I know that Wong is going to be good to go round 3. What do I want to do here? No real reason to use the speed bar, but I would like to have a taunt up and going, get the buffs, and I want to make sure the attacks are focused. We'll get Black Panther down here so he does not take a turn. We're going to save those abilities. Goodbye T'Challa. Focus. Oye. For a stun. So I got one minion that time, but all of them fired. Probably shouldn't have done that, but not really the end of the world that I didn't, especially because I'm gonna want to use her ultimate right out of the gate in the next node. So we're in great shape. All of the abilities are charged up, ready to go on all of the characters. Everyone's at full health. We're just in great shape ending this node. And that, my friends, that gamers, is node number 2 in the global section. We're an hour into this video. I'd encourage you to pause this, and if you've been sitting there watching this, listening to me, I encourage you to take a bio break and stretch. Maybe do a couple of push-ups. I'm gonna take a drink of water. All right. So this node can be problematic. There is a very real possibility that I'm gonna have to restart this. I've had that happen. It seems to happen every once in a while. Curious to see what other people are using. This makes a ton of sense. Dr. Doom would be a great option for global. I don't have my Dr. Doom up to gear tier 15, which may shock a lot of you. Getting close. So from a heal perspective, we talked about this earlier. If you have these dark health packs, which by the way, at the time of filming this on May 3rd, with the drop of the new patch, which I think was patch 6.0, something like that, this was changed from 100 to 250, and it cost 50 dark health packs in order to do either a heal or a revive. You can see that because I don't have 50, the game is prompting me to utilize these. I really encourage you not to do this. There's really no reason for anyone watching this video to utilize your power cores in this way. If you're spending money on the game and money just, you have the financial ability to do that, then maybe. But I certainly would only do it for the first 2 runs because that's where you get your ability, your rewards from. After that, it's just picture frames, which hopefully we'll see at the end of this series. This is my 15th run that you guys are participating in with me, and so I will get the final frame change. But this is really just not worth it. But that's how you would heal up your characters in between if you really needed to. I don't feel the need to because even though he's down a little bit in health, it's not really that big of a deal. So here we go, node 3, let's get going. Alright, Black Bolt from this wave will always perform his special and ultimate abilities. That's pretty terrible. We'll talk about that in a second here. Cable from this wave will always perform the special abilities, and we're live. Alright. So, doing my threat assessment here, what's most important to me is Black Bolt. There really isn't any other big threats per se, but what we do have to contend with is Captain America's taunt. You can see right here, Black Bolt's about to take a turn, and he's gonna do his ultimate because, again, the game always favors the ultimate. So I want to get him stunned right away. And you can see that we did not have all of our buffs carry forward, as I mentioned earlier. Very important to note. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to utilize this ability where we're going to clear all negative effects. We don't have any, that's fine. 3 deflects to 3/5 of my team is fantastic. Immunity to self and the Secret Avengers is great. You can see Captain Sam definitely needs some healing, so that's fantastic. And then we're going to heal all of their skill allies, which we have none, so that's a non-starter. And we're going to attack all the enemies. So this is a great way to start off. So now next I need to manage Captain America. So he has a slow and a stun. That's great. Let's fill some speed bar. Perfect timing for that. You can see that these guys were down to like half, and all of a sudden they're basically full. I'm actually going to save this taunt because I'm in good place, and I want to. You know what? I'm not going to. Actually, yes, I'm going to save it, and here's why. I really want the bonuses because we lost all our buffs. I want those bonuses sooner. From Cap Sam. So the taunt is important to me, but those bonuses are more important to me. So we're going to go ahead and just attack Black Bolt. No one else is really a threat for me right now, and so I'm going to save that. I mean, everyone is a threat, but as far as those specific abilities, I need to save those. Yep. So here we go. We're going to get the bonuses going with the energy, the speed up. You can see that Cap Sam's got a ton of stuff, right? He just got taunt for 2 turns, counterattack for 2 turns, defense up, and speed up. He already had a couple of deflects. He might have gotten 1 deflect off that too. Yes, I absolutely do want to attack the entire team and apply offense down. So now if Black Bolt comes after us, 50% less of a problem. We have Cap Sam with his taunt up, so I'm not going to use that for a couple more turns, so we're going to continue doing damage over here. He is not a big enough threat to me yet that I want to use that. And the reason I'm saying that is because even though he is the biggest threat on the board, he has offense down, so he's not going to do as much damage. He has slow on him, decreasing the speed by 50%. And he's already a super slow character. He's one of the slowest characters in the game. What I mean by that is the amount of speed bar that he gets per turn. You can see all of that on msf.gg if you would like to really get into the nitty-gritty of this. But we're in a good place there. Now, the one thing we do have to consider is that we have Black Widow over here. She is a problem. She does not have slow. She's going to take a turn soon. and I actually think I'm going to take this ability, or this opportunity, to get an ability block on her. Yet again, this is the priority for the damage, the healing, and the deflects and the immunity. I want to stack that up as much as possible. The minions are fantastic, but that ultimate ability is more important. You can see she's about to take a turn. Not the end of the world. She has 2 of these up here. I would actually, it would be smart to remove her as a threat, but I want to get some more damage done on Black Bolt, because he is a big threat for the amount of damage that he will do with his ultimate, especially because, again, he's yellow, so he's going to have some boosted stats. You can see that Cap Sam just totally evaded that that ability that Deadpool did. What do I want to do here? I still want to focus on Black Bolt. Get some damage there. The assist, that's great. Let's get some more damage. I'm not as worried about Black Widow right now, because when she does take a turn, she's not going to be able to do anything but her basic. Ability block, as you've seen on some of my characters, means that they can only use their basic. Let's go ahead and get taunt rolling. Some damage, taunt, get some deflects. Good shape there. Yes, please, I would love to have some minions. Now, Captain America is not stunned. He's not ability blocked, and he is about ready to take a turn. That could be a problem. This, and same thing over here. Now again, has offense down. Really think that what we need to do is get rid of Black Widow. This should be the kill. Goodbye, Natasha. Back to doing damage on Black Bolt. Don't really care about the 1 buff on the field. Really want to get Black Bolt down, and that's the kill. Perfect. Just in time for the taunt. This is the tactics. This is the tactics. That worked out very well for us, because now the biggest threat on the board is actually going to be Deadpool. Deadpool can be a problem. Deadpool, if someone gets low, his ultimate ability can be problematic. But right now we don't have a lot of options. I can't strip the taunt, so we're going to continue going at Captain America. Fortunately, he has offense up, but this is just one of those we don't have any options situations. We just need to get through the encounter. Oh, that was a misclick on my part. Should have done the taunt. I was too busy looking at other things. Don't get tunnel vision. Don't do like me. There's a very real possibility that could have cost some of you who don't have as powerful of characters or these characters. I'm lucky that I can afford a misclick here and there, and it probably won't be catastrophic. He's already done his taunt. I'm not really worried about the rest of these guys. Cable can do some pretty significant damage when they're boosted, when they have these, when they have the yellow glow. But again, I really just want to get rid of Captain America so that I don't have to deal with the taunt anymore. It frees me up. I'm gonna save that stun, and there's the kill. Okay, Deadpool is my next priority. Absolutely, let's go ahead and do that. Love all of that healing going on. Thankfully we didn't need it, but it's great that it's there. Arguably, if your Wong was not doing well, and you knew he wasn't doing well, absolutely going to taunt this time. We'll do it correctly. Stick with me, team. I'll show you how to get it done. Still really not worried too much about the threats on the board right now, that I feel the need to control them. We have a long way to go, so I absolutely want to keep my team as healed and deflected as much as possible. Alright, let's get her off the board. Let's get Cable damaged. Crystal, it looks like she's a problem because of her abilities, but it's really a lot of bark and not a lot of bite. It looks a heck of a lot worse than it actually is. You know, this is not going to get me a lot right now. Most of my team is about ready to take their turn anyway. And so I think I'm just going to save that, where I'm going to get more damage with more enemies on the field, and also with lower speed bars. Let's get some minions rolling. To me, my minions. Yes, thank you. Excellent. And we're just going to auto. Save up our abilities. This is the end of the wave. It's almost like the end of an encounter. As you've seen already, when the next wave drops, it's almost like starting an entirely new encounter, because the abilities, the energy generation, the debuffs that happen when a new wave drops, it's sort of one of the interesting aspects of Dark Dimension, is that it feels in many ways like an entirely new encounter. So saving up those abilities, or even sometimes preempting it. I have absolutely done, you will see this happen at some point, where I will use a taunt right at the end of a wave like this, so that everything is rolling going forward. You'll see this when we get to the legendary nodes, where oftentimes I will use Shuri's defense up as the last one is being killed, so that if something drops and they have a bunch of speed bar and then they attack, that I'm already prepped and ready to go with defense up. You will see that in the legendary nodes. I'll walk you right through it. All right. Spider-Man Miles from this wave will perform his ultimate ability, and I'm pretty sure it said something about Coulson, but it doesn't really matter as much. Coulson is really not a threat. Jessica Jones from this wave will always perform her special ability on every turn, so her special ability is problematic. Let's do a threat assessment. So Jessica Jones, who's actually not even on the board right now, so she must be dropping. She must be a mid-wave drop. Jessica Jones, her special ability is a cleanse, which is bad, and so especially if you have a team that relies on debuffs, such as my city team does, and we'll talk about that later as we get into the city nodes. My threat assessment right now is this. I have two protectors on the board, Shield Security and Rhino, that are going to taunt. Right now they have low speed bars, so they're not super important, but we need to control them. Nick Fury is a problem, especially for the Shield agents, which we have 3 of them on the board right now that are going to get benefit from him from his abilities. Coulson, again, not really, even with the buffs, not really someone that is a big deal. He does give some abilities to shield, so this can kind of become a problem where you're getting buffs from both of these characters. But the big one here is Symbiote Spider-Man, and the reason is because of 2 things. One, his basic is going to be applying defense down and causing us to take a lot of damage everywhere. And then secondly, his ultimate is really problematic because it can't be blocked or dodged, and it will do a bunch of damage and it will apply slow. So we need him to get off the board as quickly as possible. So my goal is to control these 2, and Nick Fury. So I want to get a stun on these 2. I want to try and control Nick Fury as much as possible, and then I want to focus down Symbiote Spider-Man. Alright, so let's get a stun here. Let's get a taunt rolling. Let's get some damage. Let's get our deflex going and our immunities. So if Symbiote Spider-Man does hit us, we won't get the slow because of the immunity. damage on Symbiote Spider-Man. Let's get a stun on Rhino. Alright, so our 2 protectors are managed. Don't have anything we need to strip, so let's get some damage and some speed bar. We really need to get Nick Fury under control. Let's go ahead and get him ability blocked. Back on Symbiote Spider-Man, let's get some minions and damage. Some more damage, and now he has defense down, so hopefully we're going to get the kill here. Let's get the kill, and there it is. Okay. Still have stuns on these 2 guys, so my threat assessment now is Nick Fury. Spider-Man Miles can be annoying with his ultimate ability, but it really just more is an annoyance than anything, because it does, you know, the AoE damage and the opposite of immunity, whatever that is. All of a sudden I'm blanking on it. Oh, it's right here, I can tell you. It is called Disrupted. Additional positive effects cannot be applied to this, so Spider-Man Miles is going to toss that on a couple of characters when he pops off. Again, let's just get Nick Fury down. And there's the kill. Okay, so these 2 guys are taking their turns. They do have slow on them, which is great. My focus now needs to be on getting them down so I don't have to contend with their taunts anymore. And there we go. Now the great thing is we were able to, in the span of that 1 round, and there's the AoE damage with, you know, now my Sharon Carter has that disrupted. Not the end of the world, but you'll see here, as soon as I blow this off, she does not get any of the bonuses for the Secret Avengers because of that disrupted. Disrupted is a problem. What do I want to do here? I actually am going to... I don't want Rhino taunting right now. Let's get him stunned. Absolutely, let's cleanse and heal and deflect. That's great. Alright, Wong, let's get back in the game. Nothing we need to strip, so let's continue working on the shield security. Shield security's gone. So my threat assessment at this point, Rhino, I really need to get rid of him, but he's stunned for another half a turn and then has slow, so that frees me up to do some other things. At this point, yeah, we got a lot of characters on the board. Let's go ahead and remove some damage. Get some minions and see if we can get rid of Spider-Man Miles. It looks like he's standing in fire. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And thank you. I really want to get rid of Rhino. Spider-Man is a little bit annoying, but you see he doesn't take a ton of turns. OG Spider-Man. Let's just get Rhino off the board. All right. Take some turns here. Don't really need to do a control at this point. We're in great shape, so I'd rather save that. Saving cooldowns and using them appropriately is the name of the game. Right now we're 33 of 46 on enemies remaining, so that taunt is absolutely useful. Let's get rid of Spider-Man. As you've seen, neither of these characters are a big threat. The biggest threat that Coulson had was in the beginning, and since there are no more shield agents, it really just isn't. He's not going to do any meaningful amount of damage. See, it looks bad, but again, bark versus bite kind of thing. Don't need to stun, we're going to save that. Heard me say it a ton, you're going to hear me say it throughout my Dark Dimension videos here. Just so important to save that. I would really like to get some more minions on the board. I think that'd be great, but I'd also like to get some deflects going. At this point, I don't know that the threats merit that, especially because as we take turns, those buffs fall off. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more minions on the board. Don't really need that ultimate right now. It's sort of wasted. Alright, so Wong has his, we definitely don't need this one. Wong has his taunt up, but I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, which is I actually want to use Cap Sam's first. Negasonic from this wave will always perform her special ability. That's problematic. She's actually sort of problematic because of how much barrier she gives herself. Quake from this wave will always perform her ultimate ability. Don't really care. Again, it's a bark versus bite kind of thing. Alright, so let's do a threat assessment. The biggest threats on the board are going to be Nick Fury, Deadpool, my two Taunters, and Negasonic, purely from a damage perspective and because she's boosted and is going to give herself a ton of healing. What I really want to do is I want to get these guys controlled. So I'm going to start off here because this is an adjacent attack. Excellent. I don't have Cap Sam up right now, so let's get that speed up off of Nick Fury. So this is a perfect usage of this ultimate because we haven't taken really a lot of hits right now. If I'd have used it earlier, they may have fallen off. So now is a really optimal time to use that. Let's focus on getting Nick Fury down from a damage standpoint. We have another Taunter on the board, but he's a super low level one. Right now I want to get my other Taunter stunned. And I actually want to control Nick Fury. That ability block. Let's get some taunt action going. Do some damage and get some speed bar. Excellent. Now you notice those minions are gone, and Nick Fury is now gone. My number one priority for kill is going to be Deadpool. Spider-Man Miles being annoying. Do not want to use this right now. Wasted taunt. Let's get Mr. Wade down. Absolutely, let's get some minions. Alright, so our two main kill priorities are down, and now we're going to start working on our Taunters. Because they're most likely they're going to taunt before we're able to kill them, so being able to kill them and thus remove their control of the field is a good thing. Alright, Wong no longer has the taunt up, so absolutely let's get a taunt going. Let's get some bonuses. See if we can get this Rhino down. Yeah, oddly enough, the other one's probably going to take a turn before this one does. Yeah, I want to go ahead and control this. There we are. Stun. Slow up. Continue damaging Rhino. Absolutely. Let's get some buffs, some damage. I'm just gonna take this guy out. Thank you. Bonus attacks. All right, so we've gotten the second part of the wave is dropped. Revising our threat assessment, always important to continue doing. We really need to get this Rhino under control. We need to get Deadpool down, and we probably should handle Agent Coulson as well. Let's get some damage on Deadpool. Minions. Stun. I absolutely want to get a stun off here. We're going to stun Coulson. He's going to go first back to damaging Deadpool. More damage for Deadpool. More damage. Let's get some control on Rhino. Absolutely, let's get a taunt going. This is why Secret Avengers are so powerful. You're seeing all of the healing and the buffs, the deflects, the speed ups. Like, it's just crazy how good they are. They're, you know, whoever you take into DD4, it needs to be the Secret Avengers plus 2 others. These other 2 could be any number of other global characters. Doom would be a great option to take. There's a lot of good options to take. I just happen to take these 2 because they're the current arena meta as of May 2022, and they're just powerful characters. You can see they buff each other, they play off each other really well. I want to make some headway on Rhino since we have the advent of having defense down on him. Absolutely. Do I need to control anyone right now? Let's say no. Yes, please. Excellent. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Yeah. Let's do some damage. Get some speed bar. Have my team take more turns. Let's just get rid of Rhino. There we are. No buffs to strip. Let's get rid of Coulson. You can see a lot of these other characters are taking a ton of ancillary damage from the retaliations or area effect. Like, you'll notice I have never once targeted Quake. Well, I did now. But I have never targeted her with an attack, and she's almost dead. Another benefit to bringing characters that do area effect damage or adjacent damage. And the interesting thing about this is that in this particular circumstance, you know, for Captain Sam, the only two adjacent targets are Maria Hill and Agatha Harkness. But you can see that, you know, in Dark Dimension, there's a potential to have a lot of other characters standing closer. So this empty space between Cap Sam and Wong is also an adjacent, and so is this and this. So technically, as you've seen when I have all of my minions in place, those adjacent spots are all taken up. Adjacent, it would basically be a horseshoe around the character. These spots being outside, and again, that's also why someone would want to, you know, space out, you know, the tank as far away from the healer as possible for chaining, rebound chaining, various other effects. If something attacks the whole board, doesn't matter where they're standing. But again, you know, from a tank perspective, I really don't have anyone I need to control. Would it be better if I did? Maybe. You know, like we could do this play here. She's about to take a turn. I could mitigate some damage. That's fine. Back to damage on Coulson. Now she's stunned by Coulson. Let's go ahead and remove Quake off the board. She's almost dead. Absolutely. Let's get a Captain Sam taunt. Beautiful thing. I absolutely don't need to stun anyone now. Yes, please. Buffs and healing. At this point, I'd say the Negasonic is probably the biggest threat. Toss up between her and Spider-Man Miles. Tend to go for the yellow characters first, the yellow hue characters. Alright, we want to get Miles out of here. Cable can be problematic, but with these characters, I feel like that's problematic. But it didn't really do anything. Depending, and I say this because I have very powerful characters. Cap Sam is, I think, 201k. I mean, it's a huge. I mean, he's a 7 yellow, 6 red star Cap Sam. So, you know, depending upon where you are in the game with your roster, you may not. You could bring in this team and absolutely not do this well. I'd like to be very clear about that. The reason I'm doing this well is absolutely skill and knowledge of the game, and a big part of it is that I have very large characters in terms of their stats and whatnot. You know, like I said, Cap Sam is sitting at 202,000 in character power right now. I almost have him. He is about ready to be gear tier 16, which is absolutely overkill. If you brought in here newly minted gear tier 15 characters with no blue ISO, you could still do very well if you were following these attack patterns and understanding kill orders, threat assessments. It'd be very possible to do this well. It would definitely be harder. You would see if you were using these characters, but they were, you know, a lower yellow star count, they were, you know, lower in power, character power, you would just see the health pools dipping more, but chances are you would still do very well. Deadpool from this wave will always perform a special ability. It's sort of problematic. Spider-Man from this wave always performs a special ability. Not really a huge deal. It puts defense down on, I want to say, 3 characters because it's a chain, and also if he's updated, does drain as well, but I'm still unclear as to if that happens. So my threat assessment here, same thing. You're starting to see the pattern. I have 2 taunters that I need to manage, and then I have you know, some front runners as far as damage. So either Deadpool, Coulson, probably not Negasonic. I'm probably gonna go for Deadpool first, quite honestly. He can again be problematic. I'm not super concerned about anyone here, but if you're doing this again with newly minted gear tier 15s, maybe your characters are level 80. I'm gonna get a stun on Captain America. Control the board. Control the board. Control the board. Get a taunt going. Let's Get shield security. You notice that, you know, here we are at this wave, and I have all of my abilities. You're seeing this pattern of, you know, I was using my basic abilities as I killed the last 3 characters, the last 3 waves. There's no reason to use the powerful abilities, you know, when there's just not anything to be gained from doing so. Be slow, be methodic with Dark Dimension. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon, as you can see, because I'm looking at my recording counter, and unless I chop something out of this, I'm sitting at 1 hour and 44 minutes of raw video recording, and we still have 19 characters to kill, so this is easily going to be an over 2 hour video. And that's just 3 nodes, so this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Let's go ahead and get some speed bar and some damage. Really important to look at it like that. Oh, you know what? We got hit hard. I lost, I was talking and I didn't even see it, but I lost Sharon Carter. So here's what I'm going to do. We've got 19 characters to go. Chances are we'll be okay. Chances are we'll be okay. But if I feel like this isn't going to go well, I'm going to cancel this out because I want to get through this and not have to worry. I just want to get through it. It's the last node, so I don't have to have everyone live. I'm totally fine with everyone not living, but we'll see. If it gets bad enough where it looks like I'm not going to complete it, then I'm going to cancel it because I don't want to. Basically, what happens is if all my characters that I would use, and I don't have enough to bring in a second team. I think I had 3 more characters to choose from. If I had a full another 5 characters to bring into Global, maybe I would just bring them, but I don't. That's another thing to consider is, you know, and actually DD5 you need 5, but in DD4 you only need 4. So I actually trying to remember who I had. It's a distinct possibility I could come in and clean up with other characters, but I really would rather not. So let's just see what we can do here. Not having Sharon Carter's controls is really problematic. I don't want to use the stun right now. Stunning someone who's taunted doesn't gain me anything. So you can see I have powerful characters and it went sideways on me. Alright, so the stun is no longer there. That's good. We're still in a good position. Right now I need to go back on to getting Coulson down. Nothing I need to strip, so let's just get Coulson down. Alright. Let's get some minions. We just had a taunt on shield security, so I don't need to worry about getting a taunt or getting him stunned for the time being, but we're probably in danger of getting Captain America's taunt. Didn't land it. Didn't land the stun. Back to getting damage on Coulson. Let's get him off the board. Now I really need to get these guys going. Can't allow them to continue to taunt over and over again. Let's see here. Yep, let's get some more damage going there. get the kill. Who doesn't? Almost. Oof, there's the taunt. See what I mean? Yep, let's go ahead and get some AoE. Thank you. Agatha Harkness. Alright, so we got our second wave drop. Here's the problem that we have. Again, same thing. Symbiote Spider-Man is a problem. Nick Fury is a problem. And we have Captain America, who is already just taunted, so we don't really need to worry about that. I really need to get rid of Nick Fury. His offense up and speed up is super problematic. Let's get some energy and speed and whatnot going there. Let's get some damage. Let's get some deflects and heals. This is why I said we may be able to still do this. Super unlucky with the RNG on this. Sharon Carter got eaten by the random number generator boss. Let's get some more damage. We need to get Nick Fury out of the game here. You can see the benefit of those minions. They're taking attacks. And any time that they take an attack or die from an attack, it's just one bit of damage less. There we go. Everyone gets taunt and offense up and defense up and speed up. That's what I was afraid of. This is the downside to not having Sharon Carter. We may have to restart this node. This is how this happens. Not in a great position right now. Can he do it? Okay, so he got defense down on my Maria Hill, which is not great because she's at half health. If I lose Maria, we're gonna have to reset. That's just how this is gonna go. I absolutely will not make it with the other three. And these taunts. One more round and we should be in a little bit better shape. Okay, Maria Hill is down to 1/4 health. And Agatha Harkness is gone. So we have 16 characters to go. We have what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on the board with 8 more to go in the final wave. I just can't do it with these three. Maria Hill is got 1/4 health. Cap Sam has got half health. I don't have the control of Sharon. I don't have the damage and the control of Agatha Harkness. The chances of me being able to do that just by the numbers is extremely low. It's possible, but I think anything's possible. We're gonna go ahead and reset. This is the heartbreaking thing about Dark Dimension. Some of you may get to a point like this, and you might just say, I'm just going to go through, because here's the thing, you wipe on this node, you come back tomorrow, because the next day after reset, the characters will all have full health again. The energy will not have changed, so whatever energy and abilities that they had available will be the same. So one of the general pieces of wisdom, schools of thought is, if I was going to come back the next day, and I knew that I was wiping like right now, let's say that I had his ultimate ability ready, but I knew that my characters were going to wipe, I was going to die, I would not use it, because coming back the next day, the abilities would look like this. If Wong died right now, and he came back the next day, these would look the exact same. So I used to absolutely do that. You know, I would lose a character in the legendary node and say, okay, well, I know that I'm not going to make it without all 5 of my characters. And I would just go into basic, so that they would all die with all of their abilities ready to go, so that when I came back in, I was in a better place. This is the type of strategic thinking that's necessary to get through here. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this. Heartbreaking because we made it so far. But it's just not worth it to me. So we're almost 2 hours into this. If you're still with me, I'd encourage you to, again, take care of yourself, pause the video, do whatever, and come back and sit down and let's get launching on this again. Okay. Starting this over again. So this is what I was saying before. I do have 4 more characters that I could bring in, and you'll notice that, like, if I were to take these out, I guess it doesn't show, which is fine. Get these guys back in here. I'm 99% sure that you could do this with 4. So technically speaking, I could come in and clean up with 4. So if I got down to the last like 3 or 4 enemies, I feel confident I could do that. I could not have wiped with these 5 and come back with these specific 4 and done well. I doubt that these 4 could do those 16. They could probably handle 5, 6, 7, maybe even a full wave, but I have no taunt. I have no meaningful healing to speak of. Scarlet Witch can, do her thing where she, levels the HP. Ghost and Lady Deathstrike can heal themselves a bit. Iceman can give himself a bit of barrier, but not really in a great place. So that's why I decided to restart this. But I'm going to crank this up to 3. Form special ability. Crank this up to 3, and we're going to cruise through this. All right, I need to get a stun on Black Bolt because he's about to take a turn. I need to get our buffs going. I need to control Captain America with a stun. Black Widow's already done her thing, so we can't target her anyway, so there's not really much we can do. I mean, if I had something adjacent, but I'll hit her with this AoE. We do need to be concerned about her, as we talked about before. I'm gonna save that because I want to taunt with Cap Sam first. We're gonna save this. Let's get it basic. Get some damage. There's the taunt that I really need. Okay. Absolutely. Damage, please. Love Agatha Harkness for all of those offense downs. It's going to put us in a good place. He's got offense down and slow. We're in a good place there, so we're going to go back over here. I do not feel the need to control just yet. Let's get our deflects and immunities up. Let's continue to whittle away. We need to get her out of the picture. Away from my screen. I honestly don't know what killed my my Sharon Carter. I sort of assume it was that Deadpool. In the right circumstances, that's he's bad news bears. What do I need to do here? Yeah, I need to control Captain America again. Still don't want to use the taunt. Let's get her dead minions. This should be the kill. There we are. Back onto Black Bolt. We're in a good position with him, even if he does attack, but he's still priority number 1. I was keeping this on speed 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. I'd rather not take this damage if we don't have to. Definitely going to use the taunt here. Fantastic. I want to strip that defense up. Back to damaging Black Bolt. I had it on X2 speed because I wanted you guys to, more clearly see what was going on, because at X3 it happens so fast. But I also want to respect your time since we're going through it a second time. I've already explained all of this. Don't need a taunt. Don't need to strip any buffs. I need to control Captain America again. Back to Black Bolt. It's also hard, the text that you see floating up overhead when someone does something, like the Guardian Animation Knowledge, or especially the ISO attacks. Like, it's really handy to be able to see that stuff, and it's just super hard to see on X3. As you can see, it just flies by. Still don't want to taunt. Definitely want to do some AoE damage. There goes Black Bolt flying into the afterlife. Deadpool. Let's go ahead and take out Captain America. Let's just be done with him and his nonsense. Your shield can go home. Do Cable since he already has some ISO debuffs on him. If you are very, very new to Marvel Strike Force, definitely want to save this stuff for later, as I've been talking about. Again, this is the name of the game, save it. Yes, please. Let's get that going. Let's get this going. Great, that cable's gone. We're in a great position. We're at the end of the wave here, so this is all basics. I don't have anyone that I need to control. I want to be in a good position with my ability energy. Yeah, let's do that. And let's get some minions again. I was just starting to say that I wandered away from my own point that I was trying to make. If you're very, very new to Marvel Strike Force, the ISO 8 green, the 5 levels of ISO 8 green, and the current, as of May 2022, the current 3 levels of blue ISO, I'm assuming they're going to take that up to 5 at some point. We have received no indication from the developers if that's going to happen this year. We're deep into the apocalypse run right now, and Cosmic Crucible just came out today, so they haven't said anything about that. My guesstimate is probably next year we'll get the 4th and 5th layer of blue ISO. Agent Coulson special, Spider-Man Miles, the ultimate, Jessica Jones. I still don't see here. I think she drops later. All right. Again, we need to control Rhino. We need to control shield security. We need to get some buffs going. Let's some heals. We're gonna focus. Symbiote Spider-Man. His ultimate is coming up next. He just used his special. I need to recontrol shield security. Back to doing. Oh man, we got the taunt anyway. Looks like it was probably resisted. Right. nothing we can do here. Just try and get through this taunt. We have the benefit of having defense down while he has defense up. Those do not cancel each other out. It's not the way it works. One is applied before the other. Okay. We really need to probably get down Nick Fury. Strip some of those buffs. Thank you. Let's get the kill here. Boom. Symbiote Spider-Man. He's probably going to get off his ultimate, which isn't the end of the world, but it is really not preferable. Yep, let's get some damage and some offense down. Really good timing for that. Absolutely. Let's get taunt rolling. Need to make sure that we're got him stunned and slowed. Back onto Symbiote Spider-Man. Minions. Alright, Symbiote Spider-Man is done. I like to get Coulson out of the mix. I'm gonna save that stun. Save it for a rainy day. But Chris, it's always raining in the dark dimension. That is very true. Sometimes when it rains, it pours. Alright, we're gonna save that control. And let's get Coulson out of the mix. Yes, please. Boom. Bye. Oh, he survived it. You cheeky bugger. How about now? And he's gone. Let's get some damage on some of these other damagers while Rhino is distracted. Alright, so Rhino's back in play. He has no slow. Nope. That was almost a misplay. Did you see that? I absolutely need taunt right now. Alright. Let's just get Rhino down. Yeah. Let's get that down. Let's get some troopers. I'm gonna save that. Good place. I'm gonna go over here with Shield Salt next. Actually, let's do Spider-Man. Shield Assault really just does not do any meaningful damage. Save the stun. Save all the control. Save that AoE. Yep, let's do this. I was hoping it would kill him, but that's alright, because they're gonna die now. Boom. Alright, and we're in a good place now. Negasonic is always special. Quake always ultimate. Alright, let's get some stuns going. Absolutely on the taunt. We need to get Nick Fury out of the picture ASAP. Not gonna taunt, we're gonna wait for Cap Sam's taunt to fall off. I want as much uptime as much uptime with taunt on my team as possible. If it wasn't already very obvious, we need to control Rhino, the other rhino. The other rhino. If it wasn't, yeah, let's actually strip the buffs. Yeah, thank you. We're in good shape there. I'm actually gonna stun Deadpool. Back onto Nick Fury for the kill. Deadpool's about to get close to taking a turn. That's why I went that direction. It is, of course he goes stealth. Alright. Still have a taunt up, so I am going to go to Deadpool. It is better to have 4 rounds with taunt than 2 rounds with taunt. And I know that may seem painfully obvious, but that's why I'm staggering the taunts. I would rather have my beefier protector characters taking those hits than a Sharon or a Maria or an Agatha, as you saw by the last round, because the protectors are just their kits are set up, their stats are set up. Ooh, see, this was the problem last time. This is not good for us for a number of reasons. One, they have defense up. I don't care so much about the stealth. Stealth is a problem because I can't target who I need to, but it's not really doing anything. Especially if I kill the only person the only character that doesn't have stealth, and I can pick whoever I want. So if everyone has stealth, I can pick whoever I want. It's the offense up and the defense up and the speed ups. They are in a really good position. I'm in a very bad position. With my health bars, my lack of benefits. So this is for all the marbles right here. May have to reset. Did not get the control off on Nick Fury. That was really the problem. So let's see. All right. Got rid of Nick. We can pick, no, I didn't. We got rid of someone else. We can pick anyone we want because everyone is in stealth. Nick Fury is really the problematic one here. So we're gonna go ahead and take him out. He already has an ability block. Get an ability block on this rhino. That means he's going to come out of stealth. It means I have to attack him now. Yeah, there you go. So that Negasonic is taking her out. So we're in an even worse position than we were in before. Because we were at least at the 16 mark, we're at the 29 mark. And you can see that I got half health on all my characters. We're not as far. They did all of this. We're gonna have to reset. Do you guys have to reset? The answer is no. You do not have to go for the perfect run. I'm doing this for teaching purposes and also because I want to get through this all in one day, essentially. My time elapsed. And also because it can be difficult to recover from a wipe. One of the reasons why Dark Dimension takes so long is not only because it's tough, and not only because the enemies do a lot of damage and they have these special tags where they're only going to do special or ultimate abilities or what have you. That is hard enough by itself. But the really big issue here is that it can actually spin out of control where it's hard to recover from, especially if you're not intelligently saving abilities when you die. As weird as that sounds, if you know that you're going to die, then being able to come back from that in a better place because you have all of your abilities. You know, the common thinking, you know, it would be easy to understand, oh, I should do as much damage as I can, I should make as much headway as I can with as much time as I have. The problem is that you're going to come back with all characters with no ability energy, and that's just not a good place to be. And it puts you behind the 8 ball where you come back in, you load up your Dark Dimension, run, and the enemies drop and do whatever they're going to do, and you have no abilities to use. That's the ideology here. That's the long-term strategy that we're trying to think of. And so, like, if I wasn't trying to just get through this today, and I was totally okay with just saying I'm just going to, you know, go as far as I can, wipe this, come back tomorrow, and try and get more characters down, and I wasn't trying to do a video, then I would have maybe just, you know, taken that 16 run and come with the cleanup and gotten as far as I could. I need to get Black Widow down. Don't need to control this time around. Get her off the field. Back to Black Bolt. Alright, Captain America's back in play. Need to get him controlled. Taunt going. Again, 4 taunts are better than 2. Keep the pressure on Black Bolt. Let's save that stun. But I'm going to use that one. Alright, that have back up. Alright, goodbye, Black Bolt. Yeah, let's get on Deadpool. By Deathpool, Deadpool, pardon me. Don't want to use the taunt yet. Let's make some headway on some of these other damage dealers. Let's make use of that defense down. Double your pleasure, double your fun with damage on a defense down enemy. Making hay while we can. Alright. Let's work on this cable. Save that stun. That was a misplay. Didn't see that Wong still had his taunt. I'll live. Probably doing misplays because I'm getting tired. I'm recording this at 2 in the morning. Damage dealers first. Save this done. Save the AoE. Save the controls. And we're going to save that for the next wave. All right, so this was a problem last time, so we're going to do it a little bit different this time. Actually, it was no, it was this way. Absolutely going to taunt here. We need to get that going for sure. I'm actually going to control Nick Fury first. Clear all positive effects. Yeah, we definitely need to clear his speed up and get him stunned. Get some heals and deflects. Do some damage. Okay, Rhino's most likely to taunt first, so let's get him stunned. Back over to Nick Fury. Symbiote Spider-Man's problem, but his first ability he's going to use is just going to be his special, which isn't pleasant, but clearly this guy has to go down first. We need to... Actually, this will attack adjacent targets and apply defense down for 2 turns. We need to get him under control. And he blocked it. And I think that's his passive that goes off when you drop below 50%, I think. I've never actually used shield security on a team, so I know very little about his kit. When Marvel Strike Force first came out, I think it was half or over half of the characters were minions, which is an ongoing challenge with this game because there's so many useless characters that just have no use, and you can find endless videos. You can find my videos here at the Gaming Butler. You can also find videos from other people talking about this. One of the big benefits that we just had come through as players was that we were asking for minions to be taken out of the Elite 6 and 7 orbs, the Elite 5, 6, and 7 orbs, and they finally did, which is great. So now we're going to get characters that actually matter, because there just isn't any minions that have any meaningful value, and pulling a 7 red shield security is just heartbreaking. I'm actually going to take the opportunity to get this guy out, and I'm going to do the damage. I'm going to focus the damage now on Symbiote Spider-Man. Yes, please. Some minions. All right. Let's hopefully get him. Let's get Symbiote Spider-Man out of the picture before he can take a turn. And there we go. Let's not worry about him. Let's get Coulson out of the picture. We're going to have to attack Rhino at some point. And I don't need to control him anymore because the rest of the characters are not, you know, so devastating with their attacks that I need to worry about his taunt anymore. It's interesting the way that the priorities shift back and forth. And I hope you're picking that up where I will say, this character's a priority, and then something happens, and then that character's not a priority anymore. And I'll say, we need to control the taunters, and then I'll say, now we don't need to control them. Hopefully you're starting to, if you came here, you know, wanting to understand more about how to do Dark Dimension and the ideology behind it, you're starting to see why there are not hard and fast rules. There are definitely rules that are important, but everything is sort of an if-then statement, which if you're a coder, hopefully that makes you laugh. Let's get rid of OG Spider-Man here. And let's work on Miles next. Thanks, buddy. All right, at this point, we are definitely saving up our cooldowns. We're in a very good place right now. Characters are full health. We got a bunch of deflects. I'm still going to use my taunt because I want to make sure that I stay in a really good place. Plus, 3-turn cooldown. We're probably going to go through about 3 turns with this. Happy to have the minions out. It'd be great to walk into the next one with a bunch of minions. Do not do that. And he's gone. Thank you. All right. Do not need the taunt right now. Let's get shield assault down. And let's end this wave with Mr. Rhino, who's never taunted, but probably is going to. There he is. Yep. And I think he also took off a death proof with that, which is unfortunate, but the death proof was on the minion, so that's less of a concern for me. Do not need that. We're going to get a bunch of turns. Going to basic this down, and we're going to be primed and ready to go. That was 2 energy, so the next time the Capsam comes around, he's going to get his 3rd ability energy on essentially turn 1 for the next wave, which is going to be great for us. Alright, so this was our problem wave. Negasonic Special was particularly devastating, especially when it was buffed by Nick Fury. So yet again, we're going to pay more attention to Nick Fury this time. Let's get some damage on him. Come on, minions. All right, let's get our taunt going. Some AoE damage, some immunities. Alright, so he's got speed up and offense up, so that's bad. So let's clear all positive effects, stun and slow. We absolutely need to make him the priority for the trouble we get on the last time. This is how I learned to do this, watching videos, by doing this, screwing it up, coming back, doing it better. It's just the way to learn this game. There's so much to know. There's so many abilities. Let's get a stun on Rhino with the most speed bar. And let's do some damage and increase our speed bars. Let's focus the damage on Nick Fury. Cap Sam still has taunt, so we're not going to do that. Let's get damage there. Really need to get an ability block there. Cannot have Negasonic take her turn with offense up. But Nick Fury is stunned right now and almost dead, so we're in a great place. And this should be the kill. Oh, hang in there, Maria. Hang in there. There we go. Jeez. Come on. So Agatha took a hard hit there. That's why she went into... Oof. Man. Nice little special graphic. Alright, Cap Sam does not have taunt. I'm actually going to shift this. We need to get rid of Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I'm not going to use that right now because she is a problem. Her stats, oh man. Hang in there, Agatha. Hang in there. Oof, man. Dicey. You see what I mean about that Deadpool? When he goes out, he, like, regardless of taunt, he chooses the target with the least amount of health, and then just absolutely trucks them. Oh, man. Alright. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we made it through the really tough parts. Let's get rid of... The problem we're facing now is that we may get... Okay, this is great. We may get a taunt from the rhinos here, but one of them has a slow. I was really hoping that that was going to take out. Alright. Good timing on that. Some heals, some deflects, AoE damage, some defense down, or some offense downs, pardon me. Goodbye, Negasonic. Goodbye, Deadpool. Okay. And then, of course, the next wave. Alright, so we need to focus on Coulson. Let's stun this rhino. Back on Coulson. Let's get some speed bar. To control Wade here, Mr. Wade Wilson. Back on Coulson. I actually want to get rid of Quake again with the specials that they're doing. Yes, please. beefier and they're doing specific attacks. Okay, she's gone. What do we need to do here? Let's get a stun going there. Might be the last time I have to do that. We'll focus. Deadpool. Actually, let's get rid of Cable. He's pretty low on health. Just remove a decent damaging contributor from the other side. I think the Dark Dimension is one of the most interesting game modes in the game for a number of reasons. One, it's incredibly tactical. For another, there isn't a timer associated with it. It's just me against the game. And I'm an MMORPG player by heart, and so just being able to play the game. You know, when you're doing your dailies, you get that done in whatever 30-35 minutes, and then you're kind of done. So sometimes there just isn't stuff to do if you really enjoy the game. And so I think that in many ways, raids being another example of regular content. Deadpool is done. Let's see if we can get Spider-Man Miles down. He's already taken some retaliation hits. The Dark Dimension is just a lot of fun. It's definitely frustrating and challenging. I mean, as you can see from this one video that is now looking at two and a half hours of recording time, that this is definitely requires a lot of thought and effort and consideration. But I think that that's the fun part, is really learning this stuff and figuring it out. And I'm hoping that this guide will help you in some way. Make better, easier, faster progress. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Get set up really well. Still gonna focus on Cable. Yeah, let's that going. Look at all those nice buffs. What I'm loving about the slow is that I can essentially just allow those taunters. I can just let them sit and stew because they're gaining their speed bar at half the normal rate, so they're just not taking turn, and they're slow to begin with. So that allows me to just leave them alone, and I can focus on these damage dealers. Don't need a stun. If at all possible, this is certainly the way to go. Getting the taunters off the board is certainly handy. So you don't have to worry about them. It sort of depends on how many other members on a full board. It's rough to do because it depends on what you're taking, how many hits and what kind of hits you're taking from other characters, whether there's high damage involved, or you're being controlled in some way. You're getting hit with big abilities. You'll see later in the city nodes how often I just get absolutely trucked in the face by Captain Marvel's ultimate, which is just rough. Even with higher level characters, it takes about 80% of the health off. So, all right. So again, we have these two that we need to manage. And as far as kills go, we need to get Negasonic and Deadpool out as quickly as possible. Agent Coulson is up there as well. I'm going to say Negasonic, when she's not buffed, is less of a problem. And actually, Deadpool is buffed this time around. You can see the yellow hue there, so I think we're actually going to focus him. Let's get a stun on shield security. Stun and a slow. Yep, let's get those buffs rolling. Make some progress here. Deadpool. Excellent. Already got him down to half health. Into the yellow. We need to get. Yeah, I think the big thing is just the ability block. I don't really need him stunned. I need him ability blocked, which he just took. So back on Deadpool. Let's keep shooting him in the face. Well, let's get a taunt going. You can see we're really picking up steam here. When we run the board, look at all the buffs, look at all the minions, and of course I say that now. Two of the minions are dead. But that's alright. It's the kill. No, it's not. This is the kill. It's not coming back. Let's work on Negasonic. Don't really need any specific control here, so we're gonna save that, get some damage in. Need to strip any buffs. Let's work on Coulson next. This Coulson will, as he just did, give benefits to other characters with the shield tag. This is really unfortunate. Sharon Carter having that means there's a strong chance, and this is what happened to us last time. I'm assuming it was Coulson that gave her that. I don't know. We're fortunate that we have a taunt available to us right now. We have a second taunt. Normally I would not do this, but I think I would rather have 3 characters with taunt for the AI to choose from rather than 2. His only Cap Sam's only going to last one more round, so it's one of those things where I say, you know, it's better to have, you know, 4 than 2. But right now I'm concerned because Sharon has slow on her. She's half health, low on speed. This taunt could be a real problem depending on what happens. We got low speed bars on this side. Nothing's going to happen with this guy, but I don't know what's going to happen with her. And she has offense up, so whatever Quake is going to do if she goes for Sharon could be fatal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm also going to take this opportunity to get some damage on Quake. Oh, fantastic. So we got rid of her. See, that was exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. And we had the benefit of Wong stealing her offense up, which meant that it was less fatal. So that right there was the tactical decision that may have won us this victory. If we get the victory, that may have won us the victory right there, that one move. Because if we would have lost Sharon again, we would have been where we were an hour ago with the 16 of 46, because we lost Sharon and then it turned into a problem. Without her control, it was an issue. So let's continue playing and see what we can do. Quake just went, so I would really prefer to get Coulson down now, because we have the benefit of he's at half health, he's at lower health, also has damage up, and so he's more of a threat with whatever he does. So if we can kill him in this round, that would be advantageous to us. And it looks like this is the kill. Perfect. Okay, so this is where we got into trouble last time. Sharon still has a slow and a taunt, but she's gaining a little bit of health. I think it was yet again a wise decision to have Wong go for the taunt. So this right here is also going to be another savior, because this is going to cleanse. This is going to cleanse that slow off her, and she's about to take a turn, which will hopefully remove her taunt. We're going to get some healing and some cleansing for Maria, who's almost dead as well. Let's target Nick Fury. It's good practice to do so. Alright, so that taunt is gone. We need to... I'm actually going to do this because I want to clear that taunt. Clear taunt stun so that I can immediately go over here to Nick Fury and start making progress on him. Okay, so that was the one turn that we got. His next turn, we're going to be in a bad place because he's going to copy those positive effects and redistribute. So we have a couple of concerns here. One, Captain America's about to taunt, and Nick Fury's about to do what got us into trouble last time. So we need to control both of those. I need this guy to die. Okay, let's get the taunt rolling. Stay alive, team. Stay alive. All right. Let's get some damage on Nick Fury. At least, thankfully, now he has slow on him, and now defense down. So that's good for us. He's at half health, so this next round we should be able to take him out. But I want to play it on the safe side, and I'm going to get a stun on him, or an ability block, I guess I should say. And that's the kill. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Some AoE damage. Let's go over to Symbiote Spider-Man. We had a lot of priorities there, and now we're down to fewer priorities, which is good. So we're in a good place. Doing well on health, we're doing well on buffs. I'm not tickled about our taunt rotation being messed up. I actually kind of want to save this because we have one more wave to go. Right now we're not in super danger. I do want to stun Symbiote Spider-Man though. I do not want him taking a turn because he is a problem. Especially because I think Captain America's about to taunt, so. Yep, there we go. Thankfully, he's almost dead. It's unfortunate he has defense up. It'll take longer to get him down, but that's alright. I actually think I'm going to use this now. With everyone having defense up, it's going to take us longer to get through this, so a little bit more opportunity to take some turns. Yes, please. Max out those deflects. My Secret Avengers have a ton of deflects right now. I'm going to save this because Wong still has one more round of taunt up, so I would like to get back on a good rotation. Don't have to worry about Captain America anymore, so I'm going to get back on to Symbiote Spider-Man. I don't really feel the need to control right now. I'd rather save it. We're in a good position. That's fantastic. Wong's retaliations are just money in the bank. He is doing so much damage from those retaliations over the course of this Dark Dimension run. Because he's a newer character with, modern stats, which are higher. If you haven't been playing Marvel Strike Force for very long, there was let's go ahead and let's taunt, keep things rolling in a good place. If you haven't been playing Marvel Strike Force very long, about a year ago, maybe a little less, maybe 10 months ago, Scopely released the Silver Surfer, and it was an insanely powerful character for a number of reasons. Let's focus on Miles, get him out of the picture. Insanely powerful character for a number of reasons. The stats were leaps and bounds above anything else in the game. He still is the only character that strips charged turn 1 ultimate that hits everything on the screen and just does a ton of damage, and ability block on the target and heal block on everything. Gains speed over time. He's still an incredibly powerful character, even with all the other characters that have come about. But since Silver Surfer is what a lot of content creators and various members of the community have coined the Great Reset, where the game just went into almost like Marvel Strike Force 2.0. The characters that started coming out at that point, the kits were 2 and 3 times longer in the amount of text that was in them. You can still find, if you go look at someone like, that was a year 1 character at release, like a Kingpin or a Spider, they just redid Spider-Man, that's not a good example. But someone who hasn't been redone, like I said, Kingpin comes to mind. The kits are very sparse. It's a little bit of damage for the abilities, and they do a little bit of this and that. Wasn't a ton of synergy, but now, if you look at the characters that come out, one of the most recent ones that is releasing this patch is Gambit. And again, this is being filmed on May 3rd, May 4th. Gambit has not released, but is being released in this patch. Has 11 line items in his passive alone. 11 line items in his passive alone. If you were to add up all the line items from year 1 characters, it was maybe two per line. So you're talking 2, 4, 6, 8 in total. And the passives that we're now seeing are upwards of 9 to 11 lines just in the passive. So why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because you'll see in some of my other videos, and I encourage you to watch them, the new player guides 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are about to be released. By the time this comes out, they will probably have already been released. Let me pause on that for a second. So we just got to this last wave, so we're in really great shape. We're in far better shape than we were before. Doing our threat assessment, we have shield security from a taunt perspective, and then we have Black Bolt and Symbiote Spider-Man, then yet again Negasonic and Deadpool. So we're going to focus on getting Black Bolt down as quickly as we can. Let's get a stun on Symbiote Spider-Man. Black Bolt again is a very, very slow character. Let's get the stun and slow. Hopefully it's not blocked or resisted. It was not. That's great. And actually that chained over onto Symbiote Spider-Man. That is fantastic luck. We got very, very lucky that Sharon's ultimate chained. I want the buffs, so I'm going to go ahead and lead with this. We'll save Wong's. I don't even recall if he had the energy for it anyway, which we're about to find out. Yep, let's get the buffs first. No longer cooldown. Get the minions out later. Yeah, he didn't even have it anyway, so we got 4 more turns, 5 more turns. Let's continue going to town on Black Bolt. What do we need to do here? Let's get a stun on her. I guess that wasn't a stun, I guess it was a slow ability block, which is fine. Let's do some damage and get some speed bar so my characters can go again. Let's get some minions, and hopefully we're gonna get very close to a kill here. Excellent. Probably 2 more attacks. ISO, and this should be the kill. Perfect. Let's work on Symbiote Spider-Man, since we have the advent of 50% increased damage from us, or I guess I should say 50% reduction in the Symbiote Spider-Man's defense. Defense down. Love those deflects. We're in a very good position right now. It can all come undone though. I'm certainly not gonna count the chickens yet. Let's get past the hatching. These and other ancient axioms brought to you by the Gaming Butler news channel. Alright, let's get Deadpool out of the way. And there's the taunt, that's fine. We got rid of Black Bolt, Symbiote Spider-Man, which were the two big problems. No point in stunning him right now. Stun wouldn't get us anything. It's not going to prevent him from using an ability that's problematic. It's not going to prevent him from taunting. He's already taunted. It looks like Wong removed that taunt. So we're going to go back on Deadpool now. Maybe get some splash damage onto Miles. Alright, and this should be the kill. On to next Sonic. She can become problematic if she's the only one on the other side taking turns. I'm actually going to go ahead and stun her. If she's the only one taking turns, she'll get so much healing and barrier from her abilities that it can really be a problem. We don't need to save anything anymore. This is the last global node, so I'm going to go ahead and stun anything that's just going to make this easier. Frankly, I could probably auto it at this point, but I'd rather not. Let's go ahead and get some buffs going. Don't need to save anything. Don't need to save anything at all at this point. We have 5 characters left and the global nodes will be done. And I get to go to sleep and you guys get to be done with the video. Let's go ahead and just get him out of here. Back to Negasonic. We're in a very, very, very good position. Yep, let's go ahead and blow that off. Ourselves to the W here. You can see why. You can see why I wanted to reset, because I knew that this was possible. You can see it. I'm almost making it look easy from these powerful characters, and playing smartly, revising some of the stuff I did before. We were having some challenges there, so you got to see real time. The focus involved, and sometimes it's just bad RNG. Quite honestly, sometimes that's just what it is. The other day I had I've been hitting auto on my all right, here we are, folks, and there we have it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone on the spectrum in between, is Dark Dimension 4. Global, non-legendary global. I am going to end this video since it is now raw recording. Maybe trim it a bit. It is coming up on 3 hours. It's certainly going to create more videos for the rest of this. We have 3 legendary cosmic nodes and then 3 legendary city nodes, and then we'll have the final 3 legendary nodes. So I'll be walking us all through that like I just did. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, ring the notification bell, set it to all. I should have a link here going into the next video in the series, and really appreciate you coming by, hanging out with me while I was running this through. I hope you have found this helpful. If you did, please feel free to share the video around, put it in the Discord channel for your alliances. Feel free to leave me a comment on the things that you liked and the things that you didn't like. I will absolutely be doing this again for maybe new characters in Dark Dimension 4 as time goes on, and I'll be doing it again as I complete Dark Dimension 5. So I would love whatever feedback you have to offer as I continue to make new videos. That's all for now. Appreciate you coming by, as always. Have a great rest of your night.